Indeed, loving oneself really isn't such a bad thing. And in fact, if this survey achieves one thing and that people begin to value themselves a little bit more than they did before, then that's great. Greek mythology has given us many examples of people who value themselves so highly. Think Aphrodite, think Hercules, think Narcissus, amongst many others. We even have more contemporary showcases such as Miss World that really goes to rubber stamp the school of thought that buff is truly all around.
When indeed you take a good look at yourself in the mirror, how often do you consider yourself buff? What is your buffness defined by? And more importantly, are you buff? I know I am.
Far be it from me to judge. Some things are certain, however. It is our perception that dictates how we feel about ourselves, about others. I think it's the only reality that we know. We cannot believe in the reality of another until we are truly convinced of the merit to do so, which is where we come in. Guys, obviously, all hands to chat. Tall Adonis's as you are.
I love him.
He's tall, he's taller than me, so he's tall. Really, obviously, just really want to think, find out what you think, is your definition of the term buff, really.
Buff.
And how you see beauty,
buff.
really.
Oh, buff. Yeah.
Do you look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm
No,
buff?
not at all.
You know?
But definition of buff, Latino women. That's it for me. Simple as.
South American connection
Yeah,
for you.
definitely.
And you, sir?
Long legs, that's it.
Long legs.
As long as they're as tall as him.
As tall as me, it's right. Big,
Sculptured body.
toned, physically attractive.
BUFF, buff.
Buff, yeah, I've heard it being said in that. Yeah.
Buff is when you look a certain way. You understand me? Like, you just look at them. It don't even have to be you've got big breasts. You just look at the person. So you're like, wow.
Most people say it's a physical thing, but I think it's a bit more deeper.
How deep?
How deep? I think the personality and intelligence of someone has got a way of overpowering the physical appearance of someone, how they look.
Well, that's some childish slang.
Childish slang?
Yeah. Buff, innit? Buff, pretty.
Attractive. If you see a boy across the street, you'll say he's buff.
Buff is like cool, attractive, I'd say, pleasing, aesthetically pleasing.
What does the word buff mean to you?
Means like do you look sexy, or like if girls like you, like they'll go, oh, you're buff, and
Okay, so
you're top. You think you're lank.
what does the word buff mean to you girls?
Looking good,
Looking good.
sexy.
Buff?
Yeah, buff, B-U-F-F.
That's how you polish something.
What does the word buff mean to you? B-U-F-F.
I think there's a new slang from about. I don't know. It's some buff. I don't buff.
Buff, the new fit.
Boys. Yeah.
So you associate the word buff with boys.
Good
so, like,
looking boys.
Good looking boys
Yeah.
are buff.
Someone who looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's buffness.
To start a program called Buff.
Buff.
Yeah.
Well, in men terms, I wouldn't class any, I wouldn't say I'm myself buff, but women,
Yeah.
I'd say a woman's buff.
It sounds like men, straight men trying to have some kind of dodgy events. I don't know.
Buffness.
Buff.
Buff. What is
Yeah.
buff?
Exactly. That's what we're asking you. What do you think the word buff means?
I know I have a buffer which I use for my nails, right? But on the other hand, buff for me, when I think of buff these days, I think about what really comes after buffing, which is like a finished product.
We can see you pretty strict down here, man who works out time. You know,
For
give
sure.
it to a 12.
For the women.
Go on. Men and women watching this show.
For real. Personally, I mean, I don't work out to impress anyone else.
Yes.
I work out for myself because I believe that a healthy body has a healthy mind, you know. But at the end of the day, it is all pretty hard work. And primarily for me as an individual, it's the discipline that's more important than anything else, because I can project that into my job as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
What's your name?
You cannot spell it.
I like your hair, man.
Yeah.
Did it take you long to comb it out this morning?
Not very much.
Would you say you groom yourself a lot?
What it means grooming?
Do you like to shave, cut your hair, put your makeup on?
No, not very much at the moment, because just spare time. This time I want to grow up. Yeah.
Okay, so just work me through what you're wearing today, bro.
I don't know.
From the shoes, man. What are you wearing
The
today?
shoes are the best thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
what-
nothing else.
What make are they?
This one are Nikes.
Okay. legs are kind of looking okay. Do you shave them, mate?
No,
No? What are you walking away from me for, man?
no, come on, it's too embarrassing.
To be honest with you, because I work out,
Oh, really?
I
I can't see
do
it.
look after myself. So